In this lesson, we're going to dig even deeper into the Pages panel. If you'd like to follow along, go under the File menu to Open and select 0308 Pages Sections and click Open. Sections are a great way to solve what would ordinarily be impossible page numbering problems. Why don't we jump right into it? I'm going to go into the Pages panel, and under the Options menu, go to Numbering and Section Options. By default, it's auto page numbering, and it just starts at page 1. Well, let's say that this document was actually the front page of a special newspaper section. The last section before this ended with page 26. So I want this section to start on page 27. Well, all I have to do is click Start Page Numbering At and type in 27 in the field, and then just click OK. And you can see it actually did make the first page in the panel 27. But let's see on page 28 what it actually did. You can see there is auto page numbering that was set up in the master page, and it does say page 28 and then page 29. So it did work. Let me go back to page 1. Let's say that instead of this being a special section in a newspaper, it was actually a manual for golf equipment. And sometimes in manuals, you have special page numbering, where the first section in the manual may be numbered A1, A2, A3. The second section would be numbered B1, B2, B3, and so on. Each section would start with a different letter and start numbering again at 1. Well, how do I do that? Being that this is already the beginning of a section, there's a downturned arrow at the top. To get back into my Sections dialog window, I can double-click on that arrow. Instead of start page numbering at 27, how about I started at 1 and I add a prefix? How about A and then a hyphen? If I want to include the letter with the number in the page numbering, the actual page numbering in the document, I would have to check Include Prefix when numbering pages. And now, when I click OK, it's numbered A1, A2, A3, and so on and so forth. But what about if I wanted to start another section where A5 currently is? Let me double-click on A5. I'm going to start a new section. I'm going to go under the Options menu to Numbering and Section Options. This time, I'm going to start the page numbering at page 1 again, but the prefix is going to be B, so it's going to be B-1. Let me include my prefix when numbering pages and just click OK and see if that worked. And it did. You can see this even page is A4, and the next odd page where my section begins is page B1, and then B2, B3, and so on. Let's talk about another problem. You'll notice that my back page is sitting all by itself on the left side of the gutter in the panel. Well, it's that way in the document too. It's just sitting there. Let's say I want to design a cover that has a photograph that starts on the back cover and continues across onto the front cover. How would I do that? Because right now the back cover is sitting by itself. Well, there has to be a way to get the back cover up next to the front cover. But before I try that, let me undo all of this page numbering. On a Mac, I'm just going to hit Command-Z. On a PC, I'm going to hit Control-Z until I'm back to my original page numbering, which starts at page 1 and ends at page 8. Now, I can't just drag page 8 up next to page 1. It won't let me do it. All it's doing is shuffling the pages forward. Not what I want. Let me hit Command-Z or Control-Z on a PC. What would happen if I made page 8 the beginning of another section? Let me try that. I'm going to go under the Options menu to Numbering and Section Options, and I'm going to start my page numbering for this particular section at page 8, and just click OK. In CS6, there's one additional thing I need to do in order to drag page 8 up next to page 1, because right now it's just not going to let me do it. Watch what happens. it puts page 8 way up over here and page 9 over here. I don't even want that to be page 9. Well, let me hit Command Z or Control Z to get back to the step right before that. There's one other thing I need to do. Under my Options menu, I need to uncheck Allow Document Pages to Shuffle. And now watch what happens when I drag page 8 up next to page 1. It joins the two of them together into a single spread, but page 1 becomes page 9 because this is the beginning of a section. So what I need to do is double-click on page 9 and make that the beginning of a section. So I'm going to go under my Options menu to Numbering and Section Options, click Start Page Numbering At, and change it to 1. So now, when I click OK, it's going to be numbered 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's exactly what I want. I'm going to make this into a graphic frame that stretches all the way across to my left bleed. Well, I really don't want it green, so let me just change that color. I'm going to go to my pop-up Fill Swatches panel and select Paper instead of green, and get my panel out of the way by just clicking anywhere. Now I need to place an image. If your mini bridge is not open, go under the Window menu to Mini Bridge. This is the image that I want to choose. I'm just going to click it and drag it right into my layout and let go. And it's going to go right into that selected frame. And I'm going to go into preview mode by hitting my W key. That is kind of a nice cover. And I couldn't have had that picture go all the way across my back and front cover without the problem solving of sections. We're going to continue to discuss the Pages panel in the next lesson.